Do not ever draw Rafayel from lads. Lads. I thought it's about time I draw these guys because I'm tabling at a con next month and I want to, earn those big bucks from the lads girlies. I thought it would be pretty straightforward. How could I forget that nothing in my art journey is ever straightforward? Here's to hoping it doesn't end up abandoned like my Silas. We start off on my arch enemy software Procreate. Sorry to all you Procreate users out there, but Photoshop is simply superior. It's totally not because I'm an old grandma who's been drawing on Photoshop for like 10 years. It's actually quite unfortunate, my skill level, even after all these years, and actually I've just been going through so much. And we start off by creating some thumbnails, just feeling so happy and so giddy, as if I don't have to, finish 5 drawings within a month and a half when I have collectively drawn maybe a total of like 1 full drawing in the past few months combined. Oh yeah, no biggie. Wait, why are these looking kinda good? If I become good, no one will watch anymore. I'll lose my content. Anyway, now I'm left with the decision. You can see me rating on my screen here, deciding the order I'm gonna draw these guys in. My plan is to finish at least 3 if I can't do all 5. So it's decided. Rafayel goes first, because ladies first, and Rafayel is a beautiful fish lady. Anyway, so then next I switched to the OG Photoshop, and since I'm a genius, I set my recording software to record the wrong screen. So now we have a speed paint recording of my screen with references and not the one I was actually painting on. I know you all are jealous of my IQ. You don't gotta tell me twice. So after painting my entire base, I finally realized that I've been recording on the wrong screen this whole time, and I fix it because I'm nonchalant like that.
I got the nonchalant wrist. Yes, sir. I don't care about anything. Oh.
So since Rafayel is just so silly and playful and quirky, we needed to have that reflected in his pose. I tried as much as possible to make all their poses reflect their personality. They say good artists don't draw in symbols. A star isn't actually a star, and to draw things with depth rather than the symbols we associated them with. As an artist of 10 years, I know this fact like the back of my hand, so you can see I draw my flower with a lot of depth. I tend to use way too much airbrush and softness in my work, and I tried to cut that out in this piece. That's why you can see me with a lot of hard edges in the stage and little to no blending. I left that for later. Something new I learned while drawing this was that I really liked these highlights on the hair and the saturated orangey red lines I tried out in the stage here that I never normally do. And this blue highlight in the eye might be tiny, but doesn't it just add so much? If you're struggling with enjoying your process, try something new you never usually add in your art. This made me feel less bored of my usual autonomous process, and I felt like I was actually enjoying art again. Anyway, okay, so the first reason why you should never draw Rafayel is because you will struggle with his proportions. I mean, you can see me literally tracing my own drawing to try and figure out what the hell is wrong with it. But that's nothing new. All my art always looks broken. But you know what? At least I try my best to figure out the issues. It might be painful, but remember that everyone struggles while drawing. The point is that you take on the challenge and make sure to enjoy the learning process. But don't get me wrong, Rafayel doesn't get credit for that. You should still never draw Rafayel, ever. The stage that I'm working on now is just the painting stage. I felt like I haven't painted for so long, so I was kinda rusty, but can we at least take a moment to appreciate the way I shaded the suits? I would like to give a shout out to this trusty brush. When nobody got me, this brush got me, okay? It's available in my free brush pack if you want to become goated like me. Of course, I have no skills. It's the brushes that carry all my art, obviously. By the way, the idea for this series of drawings is that this is like a prom theme series where each of the lads are handing you a different flower. So I tried to use some prom-like backgrounds to set the tone and play around to get a vibe that I liked before continuing. I like how everything here is looking so fancy and expensive, but then there's just this. Can you you tell that I was really avoiding working on this flower? I'm sorry, but I like drawing pretty face cards only, not whatever this thing is. I don't want to draw objects or backgrounds or animals or whatever, okay? This might be the sole reason why I'm still a bad artist and I'm not progressing, but you know, we take that, we accept it. You know what? I may accept the flower from any other lad than Rafayel. This drawing is really putting me off him, so you can take it. Go on, take it. I think this video should be titled Reasons to Not Draw Flowers. Moving on. So I worked and worked on this piece more. And I worked and I worked. A bit too much. Yeah. So that happened. You can see the stages of life in these. We started off innocent, looking just like a little baby. Then we became happy. Grown, still hopeful, until eventually the light started leaving his eyes and the anime left him. He became real. So basically, Rafayel made me go through multiple crises. I don't know why, but this man is really hard to draw and capture his likeness. He single-handedly managed to bring up all my art issues and made me face them like a mirror. Not gonna lie, he kinda made me realize that I don't know what I want with my art and that I really suck as an artist. I already knew that, but this was the final straw for me. You know that whole thing I said about finishing 3 to 5 for the con? Yeah, about that. Look guys, it's fine, it happens. I've been fighting a lot of inner demons when it comes to art. I know you were expecting probably me to show a beautiful piece at the end and say it all was good and dandy and that I finished it. Cause I didn't. I stopped there because I just didn't like it. In fact, I hated it. But part of being an artist is also knowing when to stop. And I think I was dragging on something that hadn't been working for a long time. So kids, I think this proves it. Rafayel is arch enemy number 1. So remember, do not ever draw Rafayel. Although throughout these multiple life crises that I was having due to this Rafayel drawing, I would like to give a shout out to my homie Leaf Me, always coming in clutch. Not only did she pose to give me a nice reference photo to use for the drawing, she also kept me sane when I was going crazy about this piece. She helped me view the piece with fresh eyes, and we diagnosed the piece together on Procreate. She told me that I needed to give Rafayel major plastic surgery, that his head was way too big, and he looked like a baby. She also asked me, why is he so small? And you know what? She was so spot on. I implemented all the changes she recommended, but this is why it's so important to get a second opinion on drawing when you get stuck. Did it help me in the long run? No, not really, because I abandoned the drawing.
Here's to hoping it doesn't end up abandoned like my Silas.
But it's okay. At least she still helped me. Thank you, Leaf Me. So that's that. I can play all the million speed paints I recorded for you trying to work on this piece, but I don't think I should. I have way too much footage, and none of it which is making any real progress towards finishing the piece. I just keep making changes over and over due to unanswered questions in my head about the direction I want my art to take. This was actually nothing to do with the piece itself. It's simple enough to just take any of these versions, render them, and call it a day. Like I said before, this was more of a reflection of the inner demons I've been battling recently when it comes to art. So if you're going through something like this too, just know it's normal. However, we can find solutions by eventually learning what matters to us and what doesn't. I haven't found my answers yet, but you know what? I'll keep looking. I have no intentions of giving up.
Oppa, I'm so sad. Why sad? Give up.
Rafayel tried to knock me down. He tried to kill me. He tried to make me quit art. But I stood up. I fought and I conquered.